He was an innovator, a trendsetter. The tragic passing of the former head coach back in July at the young age of 67 hit the football world hard, but it hit especially close to home for two franchises. After leaving Minnesota, Green went to Arizona, where he was the head coach from 2004 to 2006. So with the Vikings playing the Cardinals this past Sunday, it marked the perfect time to honor this former head coach.
Well, there's very little that I did going forward as a head coach that I didn't borrow from or learn from Denny Green. In terms of that interconnectivity between the players, the community, the coaches, the organization as a whole, obviously learned a great deal from Denny in that regard. And the key with Denny is to understand this wasn't just something he read in a leadership manual. This wasn't just something, geez, this will look good. This was to his core, to his marrow, that he wanted his players to have that kind of interconnectivity with the community.
He was so big on chemistry. That was the big thing that he always talked about, that if you're going to be a championship team, and he had come from the 49ers, that you've got to have that chemistry amongst the group. And it was very important to him. And he said time and time again, we won't have the best 53 players on this team. We're going to have the guys that create the best team, the best atmosphere. He really wanted to change the culture there, and I think he was very successful doing that.
The Green family was on hand at U.S. Bank Stadium last weekend for a pregame tribute to recognize the former head coach. Green's children were also honored by serving as team captains for the Vikings win. It was a special moment for the family, who's seen an outpouring of support since his tragic passing this summer.
You know, he would always check on me. I would always check on him, man, but it was so sudden. And I think that the biggest thing is I wanted to thank him, man, for giving me an opportunity. Like I said, man, a lot of people didn't want to give me an opportunity, man, and I think it was just based on he say, she say, and what they thought their perception of me was. And, he gave me an opportunity, man. All I ever wanted to do was play football, man. As a kid from 6, 7 years old, just play football, and he gave me that opportunity.
Dennis Green was a trendsetter in the sport of football. He became the second African-American coach in NCAA Division I-A history when he was hired as the Northwestern head coach in 1981. He was the third African-American head coach in NFL history when the Vikings hired him in 1992. But he did so much more than help pave the way for those who came after him. He helped develop not only Hall of Fame players, but Hall of Fame men. And his impact was felt well beyond the football field.
Eye in the sky does not lie. If you played, you know that. Well, turn on the film. I always laugh when I look at people and they go, oh, this safety is great, or this player is great. And then I look around and I go, no, this player is popular. But turn on the film and you'll see a lot of other guys in the cracks that are better. And I think Denny is one of those coaches, and those NFL personalities, players, and contributors that does not get seen for what's on the film. And what's on the film is a great record.
Then he got to the top of the profession, head coach in the National Football League on only 32 of those jobs. But he was very concerned about his assistants wanting them to get the same opportunity. And I can say, quite honestly, I wouldn't have been a head coach without those 4 years working for Denny Green.
Loyal. He was one of the most unbelievably loyal people you could be around. And any coach that worked for him, would tell you the same. And if you're loyal to him, he would always be loyal to you. And he was like that with me and my father and my brother and so many other people along the way. And his loyalty was unmatched.